one of the ladies I worked for went, look, I know you're looking for a training contract. They don't give them out that often here. Here's an application form. My boyfriend's firm is recruiting your CEO.
Yes.
What was that leap like?
Being a partner in a law firm, you do get involved with the management of the businesses. It's quite nice to have somebody concentrate on all of those aspects.
When I was at university, my civil litigation tutor said,
Yes.
look, if you go into this area of law, get out of the office as often as you possibly can.
Yeah. Hello and welcome to another episode of Fishers on the Case. This is the podcast where we talk to local business experts involved in and around the law. My name is Amanda Payne. I'm the host of Fishers on the Case and the CEO of Fishers Solicitors here in Ashby. So if you're a business owner or professional, make sure to check out the Ashby Connect, which happens on the last Wednesday of every month at a local venue. There's a lot more details regarding that on our website. So today I have with me a lovely lady called Kirsty France. Welcome, Kirsty.
Hello, Amanda.
Thank you very much. So thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having
So we're going
me.
to find out a bit about you and your career, etc. So I know, because I know, that you had a change in career partway through, but let's go back to sort of early days and childhood. What did you want to become? Did you have any dreams and aspirations as a child?
When I was very young, I feel like that changed probably every 5 minutes.
Yes.
I think the one constant is, obviously now I'm a writer, but I think that was one of the constants that stayed with me throughout most of my early years.
Okay.
My granddad worked for a publishing company.
Oh,
and
yes.
he was in the sort of exhibitions and fairs department. So he just had some brilliant stories. Like, I had a library full of books. My mum says I had a library before I was born.
Okay.
So I've always been sort of surrounded by that.
By books.
And yeah, Grandad worked for Brockhampton Press, which was a children's imprint of a bigger publisher.
Yeah.
But they published the English language versions of The Magic Roundabout, which I still love, and the Asterix books. So just one of the stories I remember from my childhood was that he got pulled over on the way to, I think it was Harrogate.
Yeah.
Going up the A1, he got pulled over by the police whilst pulling a full-size replica of a Roman chariot. So it's that sort of stuff that stays with you.
Yeah.
But I think it made me realise that, authors were real people and it was something you could do to make a living. So I think that was quite a formative experience. But obviously I wiggled and wobbled off that path as I got older. Initially, yeah.
So you did your exams and you went to university?
Eventually,
Yeah.
yeah. So I went to a school, did A-levels, went to a school where, going to university was very much the expectation.
Okay.
But once I got to it, I'd got a place and then I thought, I don't really know why I'm doing this, whether I've chosen the right thing, just wasn't sure. So took a few years out before I eventually went and kind of had little experiences with the law as I went. I ended up doing an evening class that was GCSE law, just for various, foibles with secondary education funding once I was an adult.
Yeah.
And just remember there being lots of great stories. And then later on, I worked as a temp. I trained in secretarial work because I thought that's a useful skill to have generally.
Yeah.
And ended up in a job that I was truly miserable in and thought, I need to do something else. So applied to university, was originally intending to do psychology, but kind of was a little bit interested in law and got in touch with De Montfort University, who said, your best chance of getting in, because I was applying late, is to do combined studies. But basically you can just pick two things that you're interested in, do the first year in both and then adjust it later on. And I was fully intending to do law and psychology and then shift everything towards psychology as it went on. And actually when I got to uni, it was the law that absolutely fascinated me. And so I ended up shifting completely the other way and ended up graduating with a law degree with a little bit of psychology in it, and then went on to do my LPC after that.
And you managed to get a training contract after that in a law firm?
Not immediately.
Okay.
But because of the secretarial training, I'd signed up with a legal secretarial agency. So obviously they placed us with law firms, ended up having a contract with a firm in Leicester, and then ended up working for them full time. And one of the ladies I worked for went, "Look, I know you're looking for a training contract.
Yes.
They don't give them out that often here, so you probably won't get one, but here's an application form my boyfriend's firm is recruiting."
Oh, how brilliant.
So started off, I think there were 5 of us that they liked, and they only had 4 vacancies. So they said, "Well, come, you can be a secretary for a few months and then we'll have a vacancy for you." So yeah.
So it all worked out
I think
well.
it was just, but being in the right place, knowing the right people. My first hint that your network is incredibly important.
It is, yeah.
So, yeah.
And what area of law did you practice in then?
Personal injury. So trained on claimant side.
Yes.
And by the end of it, realised I didn't want to deal with claimants. Sorry. And so switched sides
To defendant work.
So started working with more businesses. We were an insurance-led practice. So obviously worked with the insurers and the firms themselves.
Mm. So when you were working full-time as a lawyer, did you have a favourite aspect of the law? Favourite time?
I enjoyed handling cases, especially on the defendant side.
Yes.
Because there was a lot of... this was sort of pre-financial crisis when there was budget to actually go out and visit people and look around factories and do all of that.
See where the accident may have happened.
See where things happened. And because you kind of pick things up where...
Yeah, you learn.
If you send an email, they'll say, "Oh, well, we do it like this." But when you're actually walking around a factory talking to someone, you go, "Oh, hang on, I've just noticed something over there." Like, that wasn't quite how you described it before. Or you see how they talk to people,
So getting away from the desk and visiting premises was a nice part of the job.
When I was at university, one of my civil litigation tutor said, "Look, if you go into this area of law, get out of the office as often as you possibly can."
Yeah. You took that advice on board and followed that up.
And absolutely loved it until eventually I didn't.
You fell out of love with the law then?
Not
would
completely.
You say? No?
Still find it fascinating. I think the thing that's stayed with me throughout my entire career is that I love stories. It's just a fundamental thing for me. And so, still love hearing people talk about the law. I'm fascinated with how it works, what the changes are, but just the practical reality of working within it. The profession's changed a lot because finished my LPC in 2002, qualified in 2006. So obviously the change since then has been massive. And my life changed as well. Post-qualification, I had my 2 kids, so my priorities changed as well. Yeah. And just the two didn't really fit together anymore. And also, obviously, the more experienced I became, the more, there was an expectation of me to move into sort of management and budgets and all that sort of thing. All the stuff that I didn't want to do. Yeah. Because I loved just dealing with the clients and going out and handling cases and doing that side of things. So, it just came a point where I went, I can't do this anymore. What am I going to do instead?
Yeah, so how did you come to the decision of becoming a copywriter then?
I'd always written, but I'd written fiction. So that's been something that's kind of gone alongside everything else that I've done. Yeah. And that's still kind of a work in progress. But I think initially I didn't even know copywriting was a job that you could do. But I think obviously I'd gradually sort of gained more awareness of marketing over time. And when I sort of basically came home and cried on the sofa to him going, "What else am I going to do? I don't know. I'm not qualified for anything else." He said, "Well, you write, don't you? Can't you do that for businesses?" And it was like a little light bulb went off over my head. And I thought, that's a good idea. Well, maybe I can. Let me work out whether I can. And that was really that. I think I'd just come back from maternity leave when I made the decision. Yeah. So I stayed in the job for a little bit longer. Yeah. But ended up handing in my notice. I finished just before Christmas 2015 and started up on my own beginning of 2016.
Yeah, so 10 years.
I've just celebrated.
Yeah, very good. So for those people that don't know, what actually is a copywriter? Just explain what the job is. Because I'm not sure everyone would know that.
Well, it gets mixed up a lot with like copyright, as in the law.
Yes.
But for me, basically copywriting it's a form of marketing. So it's writing the words that you'll see on a company website or their social media or their blog, or basically anywhere you see anything written that's designed to market a business. That's what copywriting is. Now, there are some distinctions between what's copy and what's content. Obviously, we'll hear people talking a lot about sort of social media content.
Yeah,
So
I've heard that expression.
There is a little bit of, there are some different fields and different specialisms kind of within the profession as a whole. But broadly speaking, that's what it is.
Yeah, okay. So you talked about your grandfather obviously giving you some influence and inspiration. Has there been anybody else that you've taken any inspiration from during your career?
Oh, gosh.
Anyone else?
Now you're asking.
Well, any writers that you might follow, anything, any styles or anything like that?
My fiction work, I write crime fiction.
Okay. Have you had books published?
Not yet.
Okay.
I've had
Watch this space, guys.
Watch this space. I've got a novel out on submission. I'm looking for an agent at the moment. So
fabulous.
If anyone knows a literary agent, please let me know. I'd love a chat. But so lots of crime writers like P.D. James is one of my favourites. In fact, when I was a lawyer, my kids were tiny, and I just remember I was driving to the childminders to pick them up after work, and I think P.D. James had just died at the time, and they were playing an interview because they were sort of asking, have you had a lot on your plate. What's kept you going as a writer? Because she was a widow, she had 3 children and a full-time job in the civil service. Wow. And then she wrote books as well. So they were going, well, what made you commit to doing that? And she said, I felt as if I was sitting with a grandchild on my knee and saying, of course, what I really wanted to do was write, then I would have lost something very important. And I just thought, that's how I feel about it as well.
Yeah.
So that kept me going. And I used to take my notebook on the train and start writing my novel while I was commuting into work.
So how long's this first novel been in process then? How long?
Oh, 10 years. Probably longer, actually. It's been in fits and starts. So I probably actually started it about 12 years ago. But then there were huge gaps in that.
In that time period, yeah.
I've got a friend, her name's Laura Pearson, who is a published author. I think I'm starting to lose count. I think she's just published her 10th book.
Okay.
And she's been nagging me. She's like, I know that book's been ready for 2 years. Have you sent it anywhere? Like, no, I'm scared. So she's been a great influence as well. Just knowing that someone who lives where I live is in similar circumstances to me, has been able to make a career of this for herself, and she's really successful now. So she's been a huge inspiration too.
Good. So exciting times ahead.
Yeah.
And what motivates you? What motivates you to sort of get up in the morning and get on with your day? What is there anything?
Partly that I just love what I do.
Yeah, you really enjoy your job.
Really do. It's I've loved writing for as long as I can remember. So just being able to get up every day and do that is a huge privilege. Love the people as well. I've got some fantastic clients and really just love sharing their stories and going out and talking to them and hearing what's going on.
Yeah. So having a good relationship with a client really helps you be able to write for them and write their blogs and their social media content.
It's completely essential.
Yeah.
I think if we can't communicate well with each other, then, I aim, because I work with a lot of sole traders, so it's really important to kind of get their voice into the marketing.
Yes.
Because obviously people might find them online, then meet them in person. So having that kind of seamless...
Yeah, it needs to match, doesn't it?
It does. It's not like it's great finding someone on Instagram and then meeting them in person going, oh, hang on, that's not what I was expecting at all.
Yeah.
So that's what I aim to create. If they can't talk naturally to me, then that's just not going to happen. And nobody has any fun. And I think if you're self-employed, you've got to enjoy yourself.
Yeah,
it's hard work.
It's hard work. And do you find yourself working long hours and after the kids have gone to bed and all that sort of thing, or can you control it to daytime hours?
I'm quite good at setting. So for the actual work, the sort of sitting down at my laptop and doing the work, or organising appointments and that sort of thing, I'm very I do within school hours. My kids are a little bit older now, so I don't have to do the school run anymore. So there's a little bit more flexibility, but I still find my brain just doesn't want to cooperate after about 4:00. So let's just put a lid on it there. But yeah, a lot of the thinking time happens sort of around the edges.
Yes,
where,
no, of course.
I'll be in
I
the
understand
shower or sitting on the sofa and go,
Ooh.
oh, wait, that's that answer to that
Yes.
question I've been ignoring all
Yes,
day.
yeah.
It just comes out when you're walking or doing something completely different.
And what about if you suffer from writer's block that we've all heard of? How do you sort of get over that if nothing is coming to you?
I think sometimes you just need to take a breath and allow yourself to write nonsense.
Write nonsense.
Write
okay.
complete nonsense and just kind of warm up into it. It's funny because generally the way I work with clients is we'll have a conversation.
Yeah.
So I will have, if we're on Zoom, I'll record. So I'll have a recording, or I'll have like a page full of notes from my notebook where I've written down sort of their phrases. So actually in some ways that's easier, where I go, oh, hang on, what was that phrase they said to describe that thing? And I kind of use that as the framework. So I sort of use the conversation and some of it's waffle. I have one client who says, oh yeah, you take all my ramblings and turn them into something coherent. I was like, yeah, that's kind of the process. The other thing for me, if I'm writing my own stuff, it helps to have a plan first. Like, what is the point of this post? What's the structure of the blog? What are the different points I want to cover? Because I think once you've got that, I think blank page syndrome is a big thing for lots of people, including me.
Yeah.
And so when you're staring at a screen and you've got that little cursor ticking away, it's like it's going, ha, you don't know what to say. So actually having some headers where you can just go, oh yeah, that's the title. Here are the 4 or 5 bullet points that I'm covering, that are sort of essential to what I want to say.
And work around that.
You work around that. You can sort of take the pressure off a little bit. So, but yeah, sometimes you've just got to go, I know this is awful, but I can edit it later.
Yeah. And what's your favourite book that you've ever read? Do you have one favourite, if you can pick
no.
one? No, you can't
That's
pick one.
like picking a favourite child.
Is it?
Yeah. I mean, I've only got
question.
2 children. There's a lot more books than that. But
do you like reading crime novels as well?
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's funny because there's an amazing book called The Field of Blood by Denise Miner. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right.
Don't know.
And it is an incredible book, but I can never read it again because the subject matter is so traumatic.
Oh dear.
It's like, it's the death of a child, a young child.
Memorable for
awful reasons.
Yeah.
But the way that she sort of sets it up so that you're kind of aware of what's going on, but you don't have full knowledge until later, where you look back and go, gosh, that was horrendous. So I'm like, I can never revisit that because it'll give me nightmares.
Yeah, not to go through again. Yeah.
Yeah, but there's some like, Agatha Christie's that I just go back to.
Traditional. Yeah.
Yep. Love my golden age fiction. In fact, I'm discovering more of those. There's a really good podcast called She Done It that they talk about golden age crime fiction, which is kind of the 1920s and 30s into the 40s
her time,
a little
that was,
bit.
wasn't it? Yeah, perfect.
So there's lots of other authors. I've got this long list of people that I haven't read yet.
Yeah. And if anybody wants to get in touch with you and find out more about what you do, what's the best way for them to contact you?
So if you're on social media, you'll find me on LinkedIn.
Okay.
I am technically on Facebook and Instagram, but I'm not really. I'm sort of phasing those out.
Are you? Just LinkedIn? That's interesting.
Yeah.
Why are you phasing the others out? So you're writing...
Facebook has just... It's been a struggle for a long time. I kind of worked on the basis that everyone's there, but it's... I think a lot of businesses are saying the same. They're just gradually phasing it out because... nobody's seeing posts. It doesn't seem to matter how often you're posting. Unless you've got people who are in an active group, they're not really getting anything from it.
That's
and
interesting.
I'm finding the same.
Yeah.
I'm still on Facebook as me, but it's a lot more, I'm a member of sort of Facebook groups that, for the sort of networking groups that I'm in or the events that I go to. So I'm not the business on there, I'm just myself.
Yeah.
So I'm focusing more on that. And Instagram is staying, but I'm going to shift it more towards the fiction writing, because
Okay.
I think if I want to commit to it and make a career of it, I need to sort of put my money where my mouth is a little
Yes.
bit.
Yeah.
So that's
and
going
believe
to be
in yourself,
changing.
really. Believe in yourself.
Exactly. It's like, let's
Have the
change
confidence. Yeah.
that. So LinkedIn is the main place. I have a new website in progress at the moment, so I'll be sharing that soon.
Okay. Brilliant.
But it's not quite ready yet.
Okay. And is there anything that you want to ask me? I've asked you quite a few questions. Is there anything you want to know about me or Fishers or?
I'm interested to know, because obviously you're CEO.
Yes.
What was that leap like? Because obviously my business is just me, and I kind of work with and collaborate with other freelancers. So we're all sort of responsible for ourselves, but we do work as a team sometimes. The idea of employing someone absolutely terrifies me. So what was that experience like? What helped you make the decision?
It was good. It was gradual. Being a partner in a law firm, you do get involved with the management of the businesses, things that you were sort of not wanting to do, looking at budgets and targets and profits and making decisions around the table with other people. But it's just been a natural progression. So I've left a lot of... I had property work, I sort of left a lot of that behind now and can concentrate on the business and just giving those aspects a lot more time and attention and thought, which I wasn't able to do previously.
Yeah.
And there's an awful lot of compliance that we have to deal with and other things that, people just won't know about. And they take a lot of time out of your day, and it's quite nice to have somebody concentrate on all of those aspects and have time to do that and just be the brainstormer and lead the firm into a direction that it's perhaps not been before. But that's obviously an ongoing process and not a 5-minute thing. That's
definitely,
plans into the future that may or may not, come off. So
so
it's just exciting. I'm still involved in the law. I still run a team. I'm still very connected.
You know what's happening.
But I still know what's happening. But it's just being able to spend more time on the business rather than acting for clients, which I do love, and I still do have a few. But it is nice to have a lot less and and have a nice big team. So it's been great. It's been a challenge. It's been something new, but I'm really enjoying it. Thank you. Thank you very much, Kirsty, for coming in today. It's been great to find out about you and your career. Really enjoyed it. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.